Well, I think after our last game, we shouldn't have any trouble getting focused. Everything is as much as an event. The Oilers want the points, and we need the points. So I think, I don't think that should be a problem for us. Obviously there's two real good young players in the game. Now, McDavid's had a year in the league, which I think makes a big difference to him. When you walk into training camp after your first year, you know about the league, you know how hard it is, you know a lot more, you're more confident. And as good a player as Austin is, that's really going to help him, but he'll be excited to play tonight too.
Mike, when you're looking at tape of the Oilers, is it just that they're 1 year older, or did the changes that they made in the offseason, has that really changed the makeup of the team?
Yeah, you'd have to ask them. They know more about it. I think the thing, like if you look at Talbot's start last year and Talbot's start this year, goaltending is a huge thing in our league, and I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, McDavid, I don't know how many games in last year he got hurt, but he's a big part. I mean, when you look at him, he's explosive and gives them a real high-end player. So that's part of it. Is it a year older? I don't know about the changes. I mean, I haven't seen them in person. I've just seen them on TV, so I couldn't answer that. You'd have to ask Todd.
Different at 5'8", real tough grind. A lot of young players. How do you manage their time? Make sure they're getting the rest they need.
I don't worry about the 5 and 8 as much. The back-to-backs are the hardest. 3 and 4s, to me, the stats in the league don't show that as big an issue. It's the back-to-back games, and those are the hardest to deal with. Our guys had a day off yesterday. We had a skate. You could tell early in our skate we had a day off, but I thought we had good pop in our legs. We'll have good pop tonight.
Best way to defend against McDavid?
Well, just be above him. I would say the other thing is don't pass it to him. Like, you come down on an entry, don't pass it into him. Make him play down low in his own zone. I think with all good players is you don't want to feed their transition game. It's just they live off it and make them earn the puck all over the rink. If you have the puck, it's hard for the offensive guy to be explosive.
Matchups?
Yeah, we'll have some.
How different is it coaching a great player to coaching a middle-of-the-road guy to coaching a guy that's barely on the roster? When you have like an elite guy, how different do you coach him?
Well, I think what you do is you try to coach all your players. You have 23 of them. You can try to coach them all differently because they are different, so that's straightforward. With any team, the good players, the guys who can make plays other guys can't, they still have to play within the structure of the team, but they get to do things other guys can't because they can do them. And so I think what you're doing is you're trying to help them help themselves. So how can they have the puck the most? How can you teach them to play so they can have the puck as much as they want to have the puck? Because the biggest difference for young players arriving in the NHL is they're used to having the puck all the time. They just go get it. Problem is they don't give it back to you in this league.
Years ago, Saylor decided that he could just let Messier go, and that worked. But he had to be on coffee all the time, and he was really hard on coffee.
Well, I thought that's what I said at the start. It's 23 players, 23 different ways. I never coached Coffey or Messi. I don't know nothing about that. But obviously, probably coached them all differently because that's his relationship with each one and found out what worked for them, and that's what you do. And I think early on, when you first get players, I have a relationship with Nylander or Riley or those guys. I had them in the past. Austin Matthews, we didn't even have training camp with them. So until you build a relationship, you're not going to know 100% what works. But over time, you'll get it figured out.
Sash, you found out, I know you liked what he did last year. What would you expect in the first game?
Well, to tell you the truth, when I watched Sash this year, Sash had no training camp. When I saw him with the Marlies, he wasn't ready to play. They watched him this weekend. Lou's been tuned in on that. Lou's the guy who told me that Sash is ready to go. Sash was, he's an exciting player for us because he stirs the other 19 guys up on your own team. Nothing wrong with having a little energy.